Thank you. Come with me if you will. Thursday, February 23rd, 2006. The top of the hill of the 20th Winter Olympics. The women's parallel giant slalom event day. I was standing in the start gate, getting ready for my second qualifying run of the Olympic Winter Games. I was already sitting fourth after my first run, about to take my second run. I pull out of the start gate. Right, left, and I start pulling ahead of the girl next to me, Daniela Moily from Switzerland. And I started thinking to myself, oh yeah, baby, this is the girl you're going to have to beat today if you're going to win. And you know, when you stop thinking about what you're doing, you stop doing what you're doing. Shoomp! My feet went out from under me. I scrambled. I managed to get my feet back under me. I almost took Daniela out in the process. Got through the last couple gates, through the finish line. I was 20th. Well, top 16 go on to the finals. 20th? Can you please go through this way, please, to the exit? As you go this way to the exit, the announcer from CBC sticks a microphone in your face and says, "Hi, Alexa, would you like to tell the people at home, how was your run?" I was devastated. I was ashamed. I was fighting back the tears. I had nothing to say. Nothing. I had just achieved my dream of competing and racing for Canada at the Olympics, and I had nothing to say. It was awful, absolutely awful. And not only had I fallen at the Olympics, but I squandered my 2 minutes of TV time to possibly inspire and excite the next generation of kids to be excited about having a dream and to want to go to the Olympics and how awesome this was. Because it was awesome. It was awesome going to the Olympics. Well, I went home and I had some time to think about things and to digest my Olympic performance. And I realized that if I was going to go for 2010, I was going to have to do it differently. I was going to have a completely different perspective. I knew that those 11 years that I had put into training for the 2006 Olympics was going to have to be different this time. It was going to have to matter. All those hours of working out, those overcoming all those obstacles, those injuries, the blood, the sweat, the tears. I know it sounds trite, but it was true. And it had to matter. So I did things a bit differently. I reached out to my community. I wrote a blog that was picked up in the local newspapers. I went and visited kids at elementary schools in Richmond, one of them being Tamakichi Homa Elementary School. I even wore their sweatshirts to a lot of places and took selfies. Those kids came with me on my Olympic journey. When I fell, they fell with me and felt my pain. And they also got up with me and tried again. When I won, they shared in my exultation, in my triumph. They knew what it was to have a dream, and a dream that would fuel you through those hours and days and months and years of hard work. They understood the power of sport. They learned the lessons right alongside me: hard work, perseverance, teamwork, goal setting, and trying your best, and being a part of a community. They understood that. And so in 2010, when I competed again up at Cyprus in the pouring, pouring rain, and I came through the finish line in 12th place, 1/100th away from moving on to the next round of the finals, I realized I was still a success. I turned to the crowd and I had this huge cheer. Some of those children from Tomakichi Homa were actually in the stands cheering me on. It was wonderful. It was amazing. Right there with me. I had brought those kids through that finish line with me. Every step of the way, every hurt, every lesson, everything. Those kids understood that the Olympics is one day. It's one race on one day. And you're not defined by that one day and that one moment in time. You're defined by the every time you got up and tried again, and the people you brought with you on that journey. That's what defines you. And in May 2010, shortly after the Olympics, about 40 of the kids from Tomakichi Hama Elementary School, mostly girls, they came to my wedding, and they cheered me on to the rest of my life. They brought their parents, they sat there in the aisle, and they cheered me on to the rest of my life, because they understood that life was so much more than just one race, but that journey to that race was something that we had all been able to share together and work towards together. And that was the magic of the Olympics, that I was able to share. These are the girls that came to my wedding. This is the picture of the wedding. I had made an impact on them and so many other children here in Richmond, and that's what matters, so much more than any medal could have. Thank you.